So tonight we are having shrimp and Cajun Alfredo. This is one of Tanner's favorites, so let's do it. First, we start by cutting off the tails of the shrimp and tossing them into some boiling water. I prefer to boil them because they cook faster and they get nice and tender. Then we're going to go ahead and toss the pasta in. And you know what? We're just going to toss it all in there because who cares? And then we're going to go ahead and salt the pasta because it cooks faster and more evenly. And then we're going to open up our sauce and we're going to toss it into a saucepan on a medium heat. Got to make sure you get it all. Got to have all that sauciness. Then we're going to add some grated Parmesan cheese into the sauce. This is going to make it a little bit thicker and add a little bit more flavor to the sauce. And then we're going to toss in some Cajun seasoning. Go ahead and season to your pleasing, okay? However spicy you like it is how much you're going to add. We like it kind of toasty. He's my little noodle cooker. He's on noodle duty, so he pays attention to the noodles while I finish up the sauce. But then you're going to go ahead and just mix it around, make sure it's mixed really well. And then you're going to let this sit until you see that the cheese is nice and melted. I'm going to go ahead and move these off real quick and toss some more in. Just him stirring noodles. I couldn't help it. He's cute. So I let him cook noodles. And then this is what the sauce is going to look like when it's done. You see how it's nice and stringy now that the cheese is melted? So I'm going to turn it to a simmer and just let it stay on the burner so it's warm. We take a break to love on our doggies because we love our doggies. And the baby's asleep, so we get to give them some attention. So he's laying on the floor with our little girl, and I'm going to bring my boy over here and give him some lovies as well because he's a handsomest boy. He's mommy's man. So we got to give them their lovies. And then Tanner, just again, being cute. Look at that dimple. I couldn't cut this out because he's just adorable. Just a wonderful person. And I love how willing he is to help me with any task around the house, even after working all day. So I'm going to take these out and I'm going to strain the shrimp. And once I strain the shrimp, I'm going to put them... Once I strain the shrimp, I'm going to put them in a Tupperware and I'm going to squeeze some lemon over them. You could use butter if you wanted to. And then I'm going to go ahead and add some Cajun seasoning onto the shrimp as well so they have their own flavor. Sorry about my baby. And I'm also going to add some lemon pepper onto them because we want them to have their own flavoring. That way when you bite into a piece of shrimp, it just explodes with flavor. We're going to toss these around, shaky, shaky. That lemon juice should just help it stick to everything. And Tanner's my noodle tester, and he always tests them when they're super hot. So you're going to see him do the hot, 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 hot thing that we all do when we eat something that's too hot. But noodles were good to go, so he's going to go ahead and grab them and dump them for me because I'm scared too. And I'm getting all the water out of the pasta as much as I possibly can, and then I'm going to bring it over and just dump it right into this pan. And once I dump it into this pan, I'm going to fold it. Because the sauce is thicker because of the cheese, you're not going to be able to just stir it. You have to fold it. So this takes a couple of minutes to make sure that you get all the noodles, but 1 jar of sauce and 1 box of noodles is plenty. It just takes some time to fold it around, and you'll see that the whole color of the pasta is going to completely change once I get all that sauce off the bottom and into the noodles. Oh, it smells so good. I'm so excited. This is one of Tanner's favorites. I randomly made it one day when he came home from work. Just hoping that I could make something yummy because I only had a little bit of stuff to work with. And it turned out really good. And then we're going to go ahead and toss the shrimp in there. You could use chicken if you wanted to. A lot of people aren't big on shrimp, and that's totally fine. So you can use chicken if you want to. It's still equally as good. But yeah, we're going to just toss this in here and fold this around a little bit so that, you know, every scoop has a couple pieces of shrimp in it. And then I'm going to go ahead and toss it in a bowl because it's really hot. So I like to let mine chill down a little bit because I don't like to eat my food when it's like super hot. I want to be able to actually eat it. And then we're going to toss some garlic bread on there. Yummy, yummy. Look how delicious. And then Tanner decided that he wanted to make some blueberry muffins. So he's going to figure out how to do this because he's never made these muffins before. But I told him to put a little bit of oil in the pan so that way they don't stick to it because nobody likes a sticky muffin. No pun intended. Yes, I hear you. Sorry, my child is being a child. So yeah, here he is greasing the pan. And then he used a little scooper to scoop all of the batter into the pan, and this took quite a while, but that's okay. He could have really just dumped it into each one, but that's totally fine. He can use whatever method he wants. And then he goes ahead and pops them into the oven, and we let them cook while we eat dinner, so that way when we're done, we have some yummy muffins. And then we're going to go and we are going to sit down and watch our favorite show until Dinky wakes up. But yeah, here's our dinner. You'll see Tanner's nods of approval. And yeah, so that was a dinner. You guys asked for cooking videos, so there was an easy one for you. Have a good night.